For her 20th high school reunion. She didn't know what to expect. The last time classmates had seen her, she was Paul, the popular straight-A star quarterback. So what do you think when you see yourself in your glory football days?
Were those the glory days?
No, it's interesting because I read in this article where you said you lived like a third of your life as a boy trying not to be a girl, then you were trying to, you describe it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the first part of my life I was trying to deny the fact that I was really a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Second part of my life, after I transitioned, I was kind of trying to deny the fact that I had ever been a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And now I kind of feel like I'm in a stage where I'm just trying to make peace with both sides and kind of make peace with my past.
Mm-hmm.
And say, yeah, I've been there, done that. Like this thing about like growing up as a boy, I think I had certain advantages that I wish girls growing up had the same kind of sense of entitlement and freedom and license to just do what you want to do.
That's so interesting because we see that parents parent differently with boys than they do with girls, even though they're trying not to, mm-hmm. even though they say I'm getting the same opportunities, but you see that they really don't, right? Well, first of all, let's get to your feeling. And in high school, you dated
mm-hmm.
women.
Yep.
And went to the prom.
I went to the prom.
Mm-hmm. And felt what?
Awkward. Like I think I was kind of trying to play the part a little bit there, mm-hmm. and part of playing the part is just dating girls and going to the prom and doing that whole thing. But it always. I always felt like something was just really off. Like yeah. I was putting on an act.
Okay, so when you got out of school, you decided what?
I went to college in the San Francisco Bay Area, which mm-hmm. was a very, conducive place.
Yeah.
You know, you can do what you want.
Yeah. And so were you thinking then in terms of what your body felt like, what your gender is, or are you thinking, am I gay, am I not? Do I like men, do I like women?
I'm thinking all of those. I'm wondering if I'm gay, and I try, like dating men as a man, and that mm-hmm. doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel right.
But what it really was is I'm realizing at that time that I'm just drawn, I just have to be female. And so I'm driving across the bridge from Berkeley to go to San Francisco where it's anonymous and I can go out and do what uh-huh. I have this female life on this side of the bridge, but I have this male life as a student on the other side of the bridge.
Other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you then decide that you were going to go all the way and transition?
I've thought so much about when was that decision? Mm-hmm. When did that real turning point? I was an exchange student in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was going to Paris and Rome, and I wanted to go where nobody else was going because I had to get my head
figure this out.
Yeah, I was just gonna almost like a retreat or something. And I'm looking for I tried other ways of getting this inspiration. So I went and I did this fast. Took the train to as far north as it would go, got up, went in a tent at the end of this island and waited. I was waiting. And nothing happened. And I was on the fourth day of this fasting and I realized you have been trying to avoid it this way and that way and this way and that way. And I'm waiting for this big revelation and yeah. I've had it all along. It was
yeah.
just there right in front of me. It's like
Into the Good Witch and the Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
You've always had it, my dear. You've always had it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nothing is ever outside of any of us. It's always.
It is right there. Yeah. And so, I'm waiting for this big revelation, and I had to do all this crazy stuff to do, and it was there.
Always there.
That is what I needed to do to be who I was. And so that was a really big turning point. I think after I came back from that year, I just said, I'm gonna follow this where it goes.
What's so interesting about this movie you've done, Prodigal Sons, is the family dynamic. Because, I've done interviews before with people who are transgender.
Mm-hmm.
And we rarely talk about what's going on behind the scenes with mm-hmm. your family. So in your family, there's an entire, and the movie's called Prodigal Sons, because there's a huge dynamic going on with your brother who was adopted, and your younger brother, and all of you, and what that's doing to the family. How did you tell your parents?
I told my mom. I was comfortable talking to her. I probably told her a lot later than I should. Like if I had to do it over, I would have told her a lot earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I always think parents know, but they want to pretend that it's something else. They see it, especially in their sons, when they see something, a feminine quality in their sons, and they want to act like it's not there. Was that true for you? You never noticed it or saw it. You didn't see it coming. You didn't know that your fifth grader was dressing up as a girl and doing the paper route.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a hint.
Not a hint. Not a hint.
Did you hide it that well? Or what?
I think I hid it well. I think I was trying to hide it from myself. And that, you know, is the thing that I mean,
Looking back now, do you see hints?
I don't. I've looked back and I still don't.
You still don't. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Looking back now, what do you see?
Coming up, see what happens when the star quarterback
Looking back
returns
now,
home for a
what
high school reunion.
do you see? What do you see?
Her and I had a dance mostly in high school.
What do you see now?
I'm Robin.